It's Thursday, July the 23rd, and this is an update on my beam trolley slash hoist project. I will be installing two beam trolleys. Here is, just finished doing the mounting. The pieces of silver metal that you see, these are brackets that I created by cutting and welding pretty thick metal. The piece of wood that has a ridge, actually a little valley in the middle, the tongue or the groove, that is a template piece that I plan on using for, that's where my I-beam will go. I actually have little brackets that will hold the beam in place. I'll actually go over to the workshop to show you how that works. But you can see there are shims in place on each beam. You can't see this side, but if you walk around to the other side, you can see the shims. You can see the shims here and here as well. Just like I had a problem on the bottom side with things not being level, the top side wasn't any different. So I purchased 3 different thicknesses of angle iron, and I guess you could say I shimmed the top of the support part of what these what the I-beam will be hanging on are now little pieces of steel instead of the bare wood itself. That'll give me a lot more support when it's time to actually load this up. So I still have a bunch of strengthening that I have to do, but I just got done putting this template up. My day is pretty much over, but it also shows me, if you notice up here, there's a seam on the plywood, and that's because the I-beams that I'm using, they are left over from my wife's place of work when they were doing they had to do some earthquake seismic stuff, and they had to get that material out of the way. So I'll tell you what, let me run over to the workshop and we'll look at what the finished product is going to look like. I actually have 2 of those. I didn't show you the other one. Maybe in another video there was. But this is the workshop that I completed a couple years ago. Well, almost completed. I'm still looking for a concrete pad, and I'm not putting the concrete pad in yet because of the rail project. This is train rail. The train rail, that's part of the reason for the beam trolley system over there, is I'm having train rail that comes from there right through here, and it'll back up right to the workshop, where if we look up top, we can see there's a hoist up here as well. Let me try some lighting, see if that makes any difference. Nope, probably not any better. So anyway, this is the same mounting system that I'll be using, except the beams, the support system is running parallel to the beam here, and over there it's going to be perpendicular. There's the top is the trolley, and the bottom, of course, is the chain hoist. And right now I just have the chain hanging in a bucket so that I can wheel it. So there are 2 lifts on this beam hoist slash trolley system, and I'm going to put one on each of the I-beams that are going to be in place. These are the pieces of metal that I'll be using. As we notice, this one is 121 inches, and I believe that I need this piece 7'2". I think that piece of plywood is cut at 7'1", so I need to take 1 inch off, and then I need to get 31.5 inches off of this piece and then weld it together. Let's see if I can find a seam. Definitely this is overkill, but gives you I was just kind of getting back into welding again. Wanted to make sure that had enough weld time in before I started building these supports. But definitely over welded, but you know, over welding's okay. It's under welding isn't. So that is the end of, well, I guess we could run back over there real quick and see. Well, I guess that's probably already the case, that you already know what's happening here. I'll do it one more time. So this is a spot in the concrete for train rail, Train rail will come right through here, head off towards the truck, and then hang a left right through the pilasters. Actually, to the pilasters. This wood pile is temporary, needs to get split and put on the wood pile over here, and the train rail will come right up to here. So when I need wood for the fireplace, EPA 2 rated wood burning fireplaces I will have shortly. I have one already. This is where I stack my wood, and inside the workshop, which I didn't point out, I have 2 rail cars that are going to turn into wood cars, like little Weyerhaeuser, little Hunsader wood cars, and we can roll them over through here. And when I need to burn wood, I can park it at the far side of the truck port. That's part of the reason that it's as long as it is. And we'll just leave the rail car parked right here. And then I can just walk straight through this door, go get the wood that I need right off this rail car right here. In the event that I need to lift something heavy off the truck, now I will have 2 sets of, so if we notice these beams, these supports are perpendicular to where the I-beam is going. And then right over here, here's the other one that I already have my prototype piece of wood. So if I have time tomorrow, I plan on cutting and welding that piece together, and then using this template as a place of showing me exactly, within a 1/16 of an inch, exactly where those holes go. So when I weld these pieces on, it should just slip in place, fall into place. If not, well, I've made a horrible mistake. That is it for today.